Let's get some analysis on this. And joining us now is US political analyst Joe Siracusa. Hi there, Joe. Thank you so much for coming on the show on a Saturday. So what do you make of this resignation? Was it motivated by political reasons, strategic, ideological, personal, or a bit of all of the above?
Good afternoon, Leigh. Well, look, this is big news for a number of reasons. It's about self-preservation. Yes, she's fallen out with Trump about Epstein, but all of Congress believes that Epstein's files should be released, so there's no problem there. What she sees is, of course, is that this is the beginning, or she's sort of jumping ship. A lot of Republicans like her will be leaving office because they know that there is a Democratic Congress coming next year in 2026 in the midterms. Those on committees will be expelled, and they will be subject to their own kind of berating. As soon as you get 218 members of one party in Congress, in the House of Representatives, you not only have the right to initiate various laws and things like that, you have the power of the subpoena. And one thing that congressmen fear is that subpoena power, because they don't want to get up there and answer the same kinds of questions that the Republicans put to the Democrats. So she's jumping ship. She knows that Donald Trump is over. I mean, he is a lame duck president. That's what happens with the one term, as a matter of fact. And she just kind of she's jumping ship ahead of everybody else. Now, I listened very carefully to your package there in her speech. The whole speech is available, of course, on the internet. It's very modest, very moderate. She says a lot of things that people around her believe in. That is that the Republicans, that is MAGA, is letting her down, and the Democrats, she doesn't trust them and their neocons and their big pharma and all the rest of it. And what she's saying to ordinary, and she refers to herself as a common American, the way Andrew Jackson refers to himself as a common American, that both parties have let the ordinary, the common American down. The common American needs two jobs now to put food on the table. The price of everything has gone up. And she made it very clear that, millions and millions of Americans do not have health insurance coverage, which is what she was holding out for, too, as a matter of fact. And so she thinks both parties have let everybody down, but she's especially she's very sad about her departure from Trump. Trump overreacted to what she was saying. She's not like Elon Musk. She's not a billionaire who's going to come back into the frame again. And she said, she's not going to stand there like a battered housewife and get beat up and wait for something good to happen. And she left with a great deal of dignity. Go ahead.
Joe, you mentioned that Marjorie is jumping ship. Do you think there is a sense of a sinking ship in that, the America First faction sees, or they're disillusioned by what is seen as Trump's preference for handling international affairs? Do you think this is partly why we've seen this conciliatory approach towards New York, as we saw with the press call with Mamdani and Trump?
Well, that may be true. I mean, Trump's going to need all the friends he can get, particularly if he wants to go back to New York City sometime. Yeah. Keep in mind that MAGA means making America great again. That is, bring back reshoring manufacturing and taking on Beijing and all that kind of stuff. And the other part of MAGA is part of the American tradition, America First. That is, attention should be paid to American domestic issues instead of foreign policy. Now, Trump is spending a lot of time with Saudi Arabia. He's spending a lot of time with Israel. He's going to spend a lot of time now with Ukraine. He seems like he's got his head every place except America, which is true, by the way. He's getting invited. He's going to be at war with Venezuela one of these days. And she says, look, we didn't vote for him to get involved in these foreign wars, and she's never voted for a foreign war. And the president is, of course, doing the things that he can do without opposition. That is, he can pick a fight with people, or he can go to war before Congress does anything about it. But look, she represents the ordinary American who feels that they're, well, that's the word is, they're getting screwed by both parties. She says that too many people in Congress are taking care of themselves, and the older ones there, and I love her phrases, they turned it into an assisted care, aged care. That is, they're just hanging on and getting a salary, etc. Look, what she has to say is going to resonate with a lot of Americans, and I think she has reconstituted her career. She's, she's going to leave off the conspiracy stuff. Look, Richard Nixon had a lot of conspiracies before he became president
Finally,
twice.
Joe, I also want to bring
ahead.
it back to the Ukraine conflict and the fact that Zelensky only has until Thursday, supposedly, to make this decision whether to accept the 28-point plan or not. Which way do you think he's going to go? Does he have a choice?
Oh, he has no choice. Zelensky's only option now is to say maybe he doesn't like it and then resign. I mean, Zelensky's usefulness has come to an end. He's taken the Ukrainian people into a war that was unnecessary. Could have negotiated this thing in March 2024, as a matter of fact, and or 2022, and he didn't do that. He was encouraged by the Biden administration to go to war until the last Ukrainian died, and he's out of options. He's going to have to take it. And President Trump, to be fair to him, he wants to end the conflict for a lot of reasons. And, one of my specialties is nuclear weapons. It's important that Russia has safe borders. It's important that if Russia trusts America. There are more things at stake here than certain neighborhoods in Ukraine. And the sad thing, the tragedy is this could have all been avoided, by those negotiations early on. I mean, the Ukrainian people are going to get exactly what they could have had before the war started. And the idea was, to remain neutral. But someone told them they had to join NATO, and Zelensky has sold them a whole bag of goods here. And, Zelensky will go into exile someplace, but he's very unpopular, and it's coming to an end. And I'm glad President Trump is at least using his efforts here to bring this very sad, tragic conflict to a close.
Thank you so much for your insights, as always.